This is a licensed autonomous vehicle in the US.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode, and this one is gonna be a little bit special. It's gonna be kind of like a bonus episode after those few episodes you've seen we did with our friends from Western Star Truck. I'm here with an amazing person, Levi, who's, did I say it right, your name?
Yeah.
Okay,
Levi.
cool.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Who's been kind enough to offer us a guided tour with some information about amazing trucks that these guys have here. So thank you, sir.
Yeah. So this is a 1942 Freightliner tractor. We have two 1942 tractors in the museum, but this one I'm told is actually made in 1942. The other 1942 is a reproduction. So this is the actual tractor. It still does run, assuming the diesel hasn't gelled. It's been sitting for so long. Under here is still fully functional engine, radiator. All the components still run. So this is by far the oldest truck we have, and it's still in fairly good condition.
1942.
I think it's definitely been refurbished. This isn't the original stuff in it. However, this truck was originally made in 1942. It even has, I guess, some of the original fire extinguisher stuff in it. This is one of my favorites that we have. We only have
I can see that's I don't know exactly how you guys call it, the protection of the cabin.
So the proper name they call them is a cab guard, but a lot of people call them headache racks.
Okay.
But that's just mainly protect the back of the cab from any potential trailer lines, rocks, anything like that. So this is a Coronado. This has all of the special pinstriping, metal work, fender, sun visors. It's got all the exhaust stacks. It even has a spoiler on the top. And so this truck was kind of made as a test truck to show what all could be done. And if you look at the back tires, it even has spinner rims on it.
Oh yeah.
So obviously everybody has to give them a bit of a spin, but some of these test trucks were originally roadworthy trucks that were either bought back or were brought back for other reasons and turned into test trucks and ran through the rigors, if you will. Others were built strictly as test and show trucks.
Okay.
This one, I believe, was built strictly as a test and show truck.
Nice chrome flames on it.
Yep. So this has got the surround bug shield. So it has the bug shield on all three sides. And it's got the chicken lights around the front.
Chicken lights, that means the orange one at the bottom?
Yeah, the little itty bitty lights that run around, and it has the same down the side. Here we have one of the Western Stars.
Awesome.
So this is also a test truck. This has a very long hood that I've actually tried to open before, and due to the bumper not having an actual place to put your foot, I may be 6'5", but that's even difficult for me. But this is also made for a show. If
I can see the covers of the tires.
The covers on the fenders for these are one piece and painted to match, which most Western Stars fenders were a thing that, at least off the factory, that you couldn't get like this. So this was a neat little feature that they added to the truck.
So it worked also as a aerodynamics element, or it's more like show truck thing?
So traditionally fenders like this, I'm sure they offer some aerodynamics. A lot of it is to stop rocks from flying up.
Okay.
So you won't have to worry about rocks flying up and hitting. This has all the bells and whistles, well, not anywhere near all the bells. It has a lot of the bells and whistles that you didn't commonly see on Western Stars. Although, like I said, you could get your air intakes painted to match the color of your paint, but it had painted battery box, painted fuel tanks. This was meant to show off the options that you can get.
And it works.
On top of that, the 42, the Coronado, this Western Star, and this all currently can run and drive, assuming the diesel hasn't gelled up in them, which it probably has. But cleaning the fuel out, you can actually drive these vehicles. This is the reproduction. So this is reproduced to be as close to an original COE 42 that you can get, but it is not an original truck. The inside of this truck shows how little room you had inside of a cab over. The engine and transmission requirements, you have very little room inside the cab. So this truck sits directly on top of the engine instead of behind the engine. And because of that, you have almost half of the cab is taken up with that space. So this was not a sleeper. These box trucks were cab overs because it makes it easier to get around town. In Europe, they still mainly use these as delivery trucks because it's easier to traverse narrow, tight roads with a cab over. But here in the US, most of the cab overs that are still being made, if there are any, are being phased out. So I was always told it had something to do with crash tests and stuff like that. I'm not 100% on that. The last cab over that Freightliner made with their name on it was the Argosy. And those were all export trucks. Whenever I started here, they had become only export, so only right-hand drive.
To Australia.
Yep. And those were super tall trucks. And when you opened the door, the actual side of the truck opened up. There were a set of stairs that opened up out of it so you could step into it.
So those stairs were like...
They close
into the cab. The cab. Okay. What do we have here? I can see some cameras.
Yes.
On the mirror.
So this is the super truck. So this was released to be the most fuel efficient truck at its time, but it required the use of these special fairings
covers.
Yes. And the trailer also had these style of coverings on them as well. This was one of the neat, innovative trucks. It had your air cutouts. So airflow. Yep. And then, of course, kind of like you've already noticed, this one also had cameras for the side, which is becoming a very common thing for drivers to get. A lot of fleet companies are getting drive cams, both forward and driver facing, and also side facing and rear facing cameras too.
Yeah, back in Europe, trucks start to have only cameras instead of mirrors. Yeah.
They've experimented with that, and we have a few trucks where they've done that. Here, the feedback we've gotten from some people that I've heard is that it can be distracting because people aren't used to looking at their A-pillar.
But the display is hard.
So they have to retrain how to do that. So this is I think they call this a tack-on truck. So this is half Freightliner, half Western Star. And this one, I don't know if it was actually in the military and used, but this one did have the retrofits for the blast plates under the cab for IEDs. This one is probably the hardest one to get running because it's a 24-volt system, and it takes a lot of power to get it going. But this is also one of the biggest trucks that we have here in this facility. On the cooler, you've got a cage to guard it from rocks. You got your spare tire holder over there.
I love the bull box.
Oh yeah. It's just everything on this truck is overbuilt. So this is the innovation truck. So from what I understand, this truck is where the design for the Cascadia, the current Cascadia, came from. My understanding is this is the 2009 truck that has led us to where we currently are with Cascadia. It's got super aerodynamic fenders on it.
It looks like a truck that Batman would drive.
Yeah, very, very much so. It's all blacked out. I don't know whether the film shows it quite well, but even the cab paint job is matte black, which is terrific unless you're trying to wash it and keep it clean.
Oh yeah.
This one obviously has never been in service. There's the fifth wheel, no paint damage at all. Nice accents inside the fifth wheel. It's got full back of cab access. And then you got a backup camera.
Okay, yeah.
This funky looking, where the down view mirror on most trucks is, it has a rear facing camera or a side facing camera that would be transitioned into the cab of the vehicle for them to be able to see with, because it is missing the mounts on the door to be able to mount a mirror. But it has all the nice accents of dark.
I love it. I love it.
Even the headlights are nice and dark. The Freightliner emblem is the only time I've ever seen an actual Freightliner emblem, I guess, made by us that's not silver and black. So it has that nice copper finish on it, which I like. This truck was the precursor, like I said, for all of the current Cascadia models. This is one of the cooler of the newer trucks that we have. So this is the Inspiration. This truck, shortly after I started here, drove over the Hoover Dam by itself.
Sweet, autonomous.
This is a licensed autonomous vehicle in the US.
Oh, okay.
The debut for it was a giant thing at the Hoover Dam, and the driver was in the driver's seat, and they had it just drive across the top of the Hoover Dam. They had a video camera from the inside, so you could see the guy who wasn't touching the steering wheel. This was cool because this sparked, for me, this sparked the conversation about autonomous vehicles.
Oh yeah.
And this is where it's all going.
So it was the very first one.
This is the first ones that they were able to license on the road.
Okay.
There's two of them. So this has a sister truck. I don't know where the sister truck is. It's probably at one of our other facilities. But this, to me, showed where we were going.
Yeah, the future.
Not how we were going to get there or when we were going to get there, but it showed how it was going to be when it ended. And I think this is one of the coolest aspects. They went all out for this thing. And then this the screens you see up here on the A-pillar.
Those are cameras, right?
Yep, that would be the screen
mirrors.
for this side.
Yeah.
Yep. My understanding is that the autonomous portion of this, they had not yet completely developed passing protocols at this time. And inner city driving was still going to be a problem. And I could understand that having a trailer being a problem. The trailer is not going to be full of all of the things that this is. The current innovations that Freightliner has made towards AVs is anybody's guess. They have not stopped, and I'm sure they will continue. It's really exciting. This is the last truck we have. It's 75th anniversary. Nothing really overly special about it.
Oh, it's the anniversary trim, kind of like special model. It was a limited edition only.
I believe this one was simply made to celebrate the 75th anniversary. It's got the badges on the side. It's got some decal work.
Thank you so much for your time,
Yeah.
for the walk around, and for all the extra information. It was amazing.
Good having you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And we will see you at the next episode.